We're live. Let me just, I'm waiting for the Instagram one.
Okay.
Doesn't seem like it's working. Oh, yeah. Cool. So we're ready. Welcome everyone who is live on Instagram or YouTube. We're very happy that you're here listening to us. I want to introduce to all of you to one of the most amazing clients I've ever worked with, Holly. Thank you for
Hey.
being here, for being open to share your coaching experience
Yeah.
with all of us. I just wanted to say to Holly is also an artist. We're gonna listen a bit more about her journey as an artist and how she completely changed her career. But her artist name is Siena, Siena. She's absolutely amazing. Of course, I'm a super fan. So I would like everyone to listen to her on Spotify and yeah, Apple Music, I think so too, right?
Yeah, Apple Music as well.
Cool. So, well, first of all, how are you, Holly?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy that's a bit sunny in London. If
Oh,
anyone here is in London, we've been having a very rainy summer, right?
100%.
So, yeah, basically, Holly is going to explain a bit more about her experience. I'm going to ask her a couple questions. And I think the first question that we can start with is how can you describe your situation before starting the coaching sessions?
So I was in a position where I really wanted to follow my dreams, but I had like very a lot of limiting beliefs stopping me from getting there. But I also didn't really have a plan. So I think when I started doing the sessions, that was my first step to be like reaching out for help to kind of get myself in the position where it's like I can do this, because I think I was in a position where I was just didn't see how it was going to happen. So yeah, I'd say that was the main thing.
Okay. Where were you currently, like, what were you doing? Where were you working?
Working, so I was working in retail, and I just finished uni and I was working retail, and I just felt a bit kind of very unfulfilled, because obviously at being an artist, it's like I just had that whole creative side to me, and I didn't feel like I was expressing myself, didn't feel like I was showing anyone anything. And I think that was the main thing. And also I was just financially not in a good, like really like solid position, because I was, renting in London, which was crazy expensive on like a low salary. So that's that was
Yeah.
where I was at.
Okay. What challenges or problems were you facing with the relationship with yourself?
So I was really struggling to get to the point where I felt that I could do what I loved for a living, and what I wanted to do. Um, and I think the main challenge as well was that just confidence and things like that. So I didn't really have that confidence in myself to just put myself out there and be like, hey, I'm an artist, I'm doing this. And I also didn't really have the I think the self-worth and the feeling of um, being able to be at a place where other people that I was inspired by were at the time. I just didn't feel like I was like fitting that category, and yet that's where I wanted to be. So I just didn't really know how to fill in the gaps, I think.
Okay. How did you feel when you first started the coaching sessions? And how do you feel now?
When I first started the coaching sessions, I was basically what I just said, really. I was like a lot more, my life was a lot more chaotic. I think internally I was more chaotic as well. Like I didn't know which direction I was really headed, even though deep down I knew what I wanted to do. I sort of was doing a bunch of different stuff. Like I was a bit kind of confused as to where it was all going and how it was all going to kind of like culminate. So yeah, I think the main thing was finding that inner confidence and inner peace, that and knowing yourself and trusting yourself as well. Like I feel like I didn't have the trust in myself that I needed.
Okay. And how do you feel now?
Now I feel my life is so much more peaceful, just like internally and also just in my surroundings as well, because I think like when you're internally feeling that peace, like the choices that you make put you in a position where you can attract a lot more abundance, and like your surroundings become a lot more centered towards your goal naturally. And I think at the time before that, I just wasn't in a position where I could really even fulfill my goal, because I was just like not feeling relaxed at home or like where I was. So now, yeah, definitely peace, and I feel a lot more confident as well. Definitely a lot more confident.
Nice. What was the most significant transformation or breakthrough that you achieved through the coaching sessions?
The most significant breakthrough is I can be an artist. I can be an artist. I can live that lifestyle and I can be successful in that. I think even though deep down, I think when you have a dream deep down, you sort of get that feeling of like, I know that's what I want to do and I do know I can do it, but I think gets so squashed by everything else, I just become kind of unsure of whether or not I could do it.
You were talking at the beginning of the interview about limiting beliefs.
Yeah.
Were there any limiting beliefs you think you were able to challenge through those coaching sessions?
I think the main one was like I can't be an artist and performer. Like and then just flip that from I can't make a living out of that, or I can't do that because I don't have the people around me. All of those things was actually right now I can do that, and then taking those first steps to following that, and then to where I am now, it's just like a whole different person. Like I am living as an artist, So yeah, right at the beginning it was more of the I can't do that.
And now you did it.
And I did it.
Look, Siobhan Jackson has just texted a question. Is this a group also about relationship problems when it comes down to narcissist trauma bonding, or only some things? So Siobhan, yes. Well, we're interviewing Holly right now. She did coaching with me, coaching sessions, the Empowered Heart program. The relationship you have with yourself, you are able then to work on the relationship you have with others and with like other things like money, your work, your family relationships, friendships. So we will be covering relationship problems aspects related to coaching. Maybe Holly, you can share something you gained through coaching related to relationships.
I think, like you were just saying, the more you work on yourself, you will literally see your relationships change. It feels like counterintuitive, because the first thing you want to do is kind of like work on the relationship and like talk to them and blah blah blah. But I think for me, it's people that I found really triggering before, or even new people that I've met that I would find very triggering. I just don't trigger me at all. Like I don't feel any stress to be around them. In fact, I feel like supported and I feel inspired. And I think that's the difference. Like you start to see like so much more about people than you do before. And that doesn't necessarily mean that like someone that you find toxic, you need to be around them. But I also found that when I started trusting myself, I found it so much easier to walk away from things. So at the time I had a coach, actually a music coach, and like I felt like he was really big and he basically saying like, you know, if you're not with me, you're not gonna make it. And I think for me, the first step to kind of actually my own journey was realizing that, you know, this is not working for me. And I just walked away. And at the time, and I had nothing to go to. Like I had no one in the industry to kind of be like, oh hey, yeah, like I had nothing in place. But I think walking away from that like allowed me to attract something better. So yeah, I think working on yourself and that confidence and that finding that inner trust means that you are able to kind of figure out relationships a lot more easily.
Mm-hmm. I feel like what we're talking about here is something that we've been talking about together a lot, boundaries, right?
Yeah,
How
100%.
understanding yourself allows you to understand much better what boundaries you want to respect and what
Yeah,
boundaries you want to set with different people.
yeah, 100%. I think actually like boundaries, like the word gets thrown around a lot, but like from coaching and stuff, really understanding your own boundaries and like what a boundary is just, it's so insightful, and it means you can go through life with a lot more clarity. Because if you're just going, oh, I need to set a boundary with them, it's like, well, what and how and what is that boundary, and like why do you need to set that boundary? I think those like really figuring out what your boundaries are, and like they're different for everyone. So yeah, like figuring out your own boundaries is really, really helps your relationships, I think, or helped mine.
In case anyone needs to hear this, I always like to say anything that makes you feel uncomfortable in your body, in your soul, in your mind is a boundary for you. You don't have to explain
Yeah,
yourself, right? It doesn't have to be the same boundary for everyone. And this is for the women that are listening to us in the
that is
live
such a big one.
session.
Yeah, your body will tell you first. Your body always tells you first, whether you get ill or like you're crying
Oh,
about something. Like there's a reason for that. Yeah, 100%.
exactly. You
Yeah,
are feeling uncomfortable in your body, in your mind, in your soul.
yeah,
Your body
something.
is trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, is there any other unexpected benefits you gained from the program, the Empowered Heart program?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many, because it's like once you start opening up that door to understanding yourself, you just it like there's just so much that you can learn. So for me, it was like even going from just going to do my goal, I then was like working on, oh, actually now I'm not really sure how to be perceived. And I really struggled with that side of things. And I think now you can work on other limiting beliefs. So like parts of that, and then you start to see your like we were saying, relationships and like building boundaries more easily. Like I didn't really come into my coaching sessions going, right, let's work on boundaries. That was something that just popped up, if you know what I mean. So
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's just so many things, like so many limiting beliefs that we've spoken about, so many different like boundaries, relationships, and it all comes up at the same time, really. And like understanding how to kind of put the focus on your goal, but first of all put the focus on yourself. So I've
Mm-hmm.
definitely learned so much about myself.
Mm-hmm. This Sunday, I'm going to be giving an online free workshop on how to overcome insecurities and fears Is there anything you learned related to insecurities, fears that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I mean, again, there's like a lot, but I can pick out maybe, I would say, I think one of my fears actually at the time, or it still is now, like I had a lot of like kind of performance anxiety around my music. So that was one of the fears that we worked on. And I think, again, it's sort of like a ripple effect. Like I was at the time doing, or I was being told actually to do like cover songs, so songs by other people. And I now realizing that that was what was making me feel more uncomfortable, because when I started going in the direction that I felt comfortable with, which was my writing, because I would say first and foremost, I am a writer. Like I like to write my own stuff. I like to perform my own stuff, and I like to be involved in the creativity of the music. So for me, it's like when I started doing that, it was like unlocked a whole nother door of confidence. But before, I was just listening to what other people were telling me that I should be, and then that was making me feel very unaligned. So
Mm.
that was one fear. But obviously, like as you go along, you start to realize more, like, and then that's linked to like perception, being perceived, and all of these things, really. But yeah.
Mhm. Nice. So, how did the coaching sessions differ from other solutions you've tried in the past?
So I think like ultimately it's the professionalism that you get from a coaching session, rather than you just going out for a run, or you just trying to meditate, or you trying to do this. There's a much bigger focus at when you have a coaching session and then you go to meditate, or you have a coaching session and you go for a walk. Like things happen with more purpose, and when things happen with more purpose, you feel more aligned. And it's not like every second of every day is like feels it almost feels, it becomes quite like effortless, I would say. Like before, when you feel like you're putting in a lot of effort and you're getting nowhere, with coaching, I think you're able to work a lot smarter than like harder for something, because you can really understand what works quite quickly, and you can like
Mhm.
literally change a limiting belief like that. Sometimes they take a lot longer. But once you can hear a limiting belief, you can literally switch that mindset so quickly. So there's just, yeah, I'd say that.
Nice. What hesitation or doubts did you have before starting the sessions?
I think like I don't think I had many expectations, but I think in the back of my mind, I was probably a bit doubtful as to like, does it actually work? Like, I think I didn't, because I didn't really know about limiting beliefs in that way. I didn't know like, oh, you can point that out and then, whoa, like a whole nother door is unlocked. I just was going in going, I'm just talking to someone objectively because I want another opinion. But little did I know that it was going to be like a whole kind of like mindset change or shift in my life. Like your life changes when you start coaching sessions for the better, and it's just amazing to see where I've come from to where I am now. um Obviously, like I've got the benefit of hindsight, but it is life changing. Like it is life changing.
Mhm. Look, Fatima has just shared a comment. She says, I am living with a narcissist. I don't have choice. Fatima, I want to answer quickly to your comment. I truly believe you always have a choice. And I think if you start looking within and start facing those fears and insecurities that may be making you stay in this current situation, or understand why you are in this current situation, you'll be able to grow from it to a better place. I invite you to watch all the lives that I'm going to be giving today until Sunday. I'm interviewing another one of my clients tomorrow. She'll give you her perspective. And then I'm doing 2 live classes before the workshop on Sunday. And we will be covering a lot of like tools and ways to face those fears and understand how everything that is going on in our lives is a direct reflection of what is happening in your relationship with yourself. Sorry, Holly. Just wanted to answer.
True. Yeah, so true.
So, I mean, would you recommend the coaching sessions to others? If so, why?
100%. And I would, it's just so like, it's so life changing. Like, where I started to where I am now. So I started like, I mean, this is just one storyline, but it's like I've had so many that I've worked on within myself. But I mean, going from being like, oh, I just want to follow my dreams a bit more, I don't really know what I'm doing, to actually now having released music and be working in that industry and doing that. And I just came from, I was just working in retail and renting. That was literally what I was doing. And I wasn't, but then I went to music school and then I met people and then I met someone else. And it's just, it's been all happened so quickly when I actually think about it. But no, coaching has the ability to just change your world. And not only that, like it will change other people's worlds around you, because you become so much more inspiring and inspired as a person, because you're just you have more to give, because once you're yourself, you have so much more to give.
If you love yourself, if you take care of yourself, if you commit to yourself, then you are able to create relationships where you can find love in them, you can find commitment.
Yeah. You start seeing so much more optimism and love in the world in general, I think, like, because you start making choices with that purpose.
I love what you said about coaching, changing your world. I think this is why I started, because I was a lawyer before. I know, Holly,
Yeah.
sharing this with everyone. And I decided to change my career for the main reason that I was going through a difficult experience in the past. And I did my own coaching process and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the ability to change how you see your world, how you think about yourself, and the way you act, and how doing small things that seem insignificant,
Yeah.
they create a huge transformation. Like we're talking about
100%.
Holly, an amazing woman that was trapped in a job that you didn't enjoy, you didn't believe in yourself. Now you have pursued the career of your dreams. You've created
I
an
know.
album. You're an amazing artist.
Yeah. So crazy. But I agree, yeah, it's the easiest thing you can do to completely change your world for the better. Because it's yeah, it's something that feels accessible to people. And I think, like, I would just say a million times over, just do it, and do it for a period of time where you can build that relationship with someone, and really start to open up, because it's not easy to be vulnerable in the first session. Like, I definitely wasn't. Like, when I started, I was just like, you know, a bit shy, a bit more nervous. So I wasn't telling you everything, but then you just start opening up, and you start being able to be so honest about your life, because you want the best for yourself.
I always say the coaching sessions are really for you to learn how to talk with yourself, because the
Yeah.
only thing that I do is ask questions, give you feedback, guide you. But in the end, you are the person that knows what is best for you.
Yeah, 100%. It's like you get that out of someone, like you get that dream out of someone, you get those beliefs and those inner deep beliefs that you've had for your whole life pretty much out of you. And I think that it's a special experience for you as like a person, because you can see right in front of you that you're able to say it. You are able to do it, and you can say it with confidence. Like there's nothing to be, there is nothing to fear. But I think of course, you get fears as you like go through the world, isn't it? But
Of course. I always say the same thing. When we come to this world, we know exactly how to love ourselves. We have no fears, no insecurities. But then we experience difficult moments in life. People hurt us, situations hurt us. And that's when we start living in fear and
yeah,
we start fighting ourselves. We forget who we truly are. And I
yeah.
think coaching is an amazing tool to like remind you you are Holly, you are an amazing artist.
No,
You can do
100.
this.
Yeah. It's I can't really recommend it enough because like it's just I would just say everyone should do it, but yeah, especially if you feel like you're in a place where you feel a bit stuck, like this just frees you. I would say it's a very, very freeing experience as well. Is how I would describe it.
Yeah, maybe the next question could be, who would you recommend it to?
I would recommend it. I would recommend it to everyone, but I think if you are willing to, if you want to see a difference in your life right now, today, do it because it's something that is priceless. Like you cannot put a price on understanding yourself and getting to this stage of confidence. And it's just investing in nothing is more important than investing in yourself. Like nothing is more important than that. And I think that when you start doing it and you start seeing how it's working for you, it just motivates you more to, and then you just start improving. Everything starts improving, and like you said, there's always a choice. And I feel like, especially for the people that feel kind of stuck right now, and don't really know the next step, I would say like for them, this could really like be something that changes your life. But it's going to change anyone's life. But yeah, for those people, because I relate to them. So
Thank you, Holly. So wonderful that you can share your opinion and how you see it with everyone. I think we've covered everything. I guess the only thing that I could ask is, do you have anything you would like to share about working with me?
yes, I mean, I just feel like, where do I start? I feel that like your empathy, your compassion, your understanding, your ability to understand the nuance of someone and get to the depth of their needs is really special. And I think that how would I say it? I think working with someone like you, I wouldn't want to work with anyone else right now. Like it just feels like the right moment to have someone like you with your ability to be that compassionate about everything, and just noticing the difference that you've made in my life is, yeah, amazing. I know you'll say that I've made it, but like, yeah, you're just amazing, and I'd recommend to everyone,
You,
definitely.
you are too, Holly. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your experience. It's been a whole journey for me to work with you and with all of my clients.
Yeah.
I always say this, I learn as much as you do
Mm,
working with you.
yeah.
It's such an honor that anyone would want to share their situation with me and help
Yeah.
me guide them in their journey.
Mm,
So, I mean, thank you. You're amazing too. Um, So, and I'm super proud actually of everything that you've achieved and we've achieved together.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, on Instagram, they're sending, Hazeman is sending a heart. Thank you, Hazeman. Fatima just said, thank you so much for answering my question. Thank you for asking it. I don't know if anyone else has a question to me or to Holly. I would love to hear. If someone doesn't know this, there's a live chat for you to participate live. And just before we finish, I'm going to be doing another live tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. Another one Friday and Saturday before the big online class on how to overcome your fears and insecurities without sharing your problems with anyone, which is an interesting one. So if anyone is interested, actually, I'm just going to leave here my Instagram. Let me just edit in case anyone just finds me on YouTube, so you can participate on the online workshop that I'm going to be giving Sunday 21st. Thank you, Holly, again so much for your time, for your words, for your experience. I mean, I couldn't be more grateful.
Oh, neither could I. Thank you for having me. I hope people who are on the live have learned something or just can take something from this. But yeah.
Of course. I mean, just sharing your experience is such a valuable thing.
Yeah, 100%.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow, and sending you lots of love for this Wednesday afternoon. See you in the next few days.
Bye.